Hi everyone. Hope you're having a very nice, relaxing Sunday. Today we'll work on a little bit of a flow. Let's start with, let's get down into our mat or onto the floor. Bringing yourself just to kind of relax, coming into a nice, relaxed, seated position. Relaxing the shoulders. Lengthening the spine, almost like there's that string just kind of holding you up. The crown of your head, lifting your spine. Feel the back of your spine, even with your tailbone. Your hands resting on your thighs. Palms can be up or down, whichever you prefer, whichever is more comfortable for you. And bringing your eyes to a nice soft gaze, maybe on the floor in front of you, or closing them if that feels comfortable for you. And bring your focus to your breath. Nice natural breathing. Allowing the thoughts to just kind of rest outside the door, knowing that they will be there when we're done. And slowly kind of deepening that breath. Maybe inhaling to the count of 4. Exhaling to count of 4 or longer, allowing that breath to just release. Keeping your focus on that breath. Remembering yoga is non-harming. So anytime feel uncomfortable to the point where you feel a twinge of pain at all, or you're unable to maintain this breath, please make the adjustments, listen to your body. Come out of the pose or go into a variation. Bring yourself into a relaxing pose. It's very important throughout any yoga practice. Listen to your body. If your body tells you it does not want to do something, don't do it. There are still poses today that I will not do. I'll watch everybody else do, but I won't do them. So don't ever feel like you have to follow. And then slowly, if your eyes are closed, open your eyes. Bringing your gaze up. And from here, take your left leg, bringing it to the outside of your mat. Keeping your right foot to the inside of your thigh. Turn towards that left leg. Bringing your hands down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding over that leg. Maybe keeping your gaze forward to allow that back to stay relatively straight. Your hands can rest on your thighs, or they can rest on your shin. Or if you can, bringing them down to your toes. But remember, doing only what you need to do. Feeling the sensation in that lower back without going too far. Never go past our threshold. Taking a few breaths here with that nice deep breath. Being aware of the sensations that are occurring in our body. Being present in the moment. Bring your hands down to the mat, slowly walking them back, straightening your back. Lift your right leg, crossing it over that left leg, foot on the other side of your thigh. Here you can take your left arm, grabbing that leg, holding it close to you. Or if you want, take your right hand back behind you, bringing that left elbow to the outside of that knee, twisting to the right. You'll feel this in that right IT band area, up at the hip, down to your knee. Remembering to breathe. And releasing, allowing that right leg to come to the outside of the mat this time. Bring your right foot inside of that your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Here I go with an of me your shoes again. Turning towards the right. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, releasing over, folding over that leg. And bringing your hands down to the mat, slowly walking them back. Lift that left leg, drawing it over your right. Again, holding that leg close, or bringing your left hand behind you, your right elbow to the outside of that left knee. And releasing. Coming into a wide leg. Maybe widening your legs further. Bringing your hands in front of you. Slowly walk them forward. You do not have to go very far to feel the stretch. Feeling it in your lower back. Stretching. Strengthening. And then slowly walking back up. From here you can rest your hands on your thighs. Take your right ear to your shoulder. Bring your chin to that shoulder. Chin to your chest. Chin to your left shoulder. Bring your left ear to the left shoulder. And then slowly rising up. Bringing your legs together, bending your knees, coming onto all fours into that tabletop position. Remembering knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide. Lift your right hand into the air, and dropping it, drawing it behind your left hand, threading it through, bringing your shoulder to the mat. Again, this is another nice one that takes out the kinks in that lower back. Your left hand can go forward if you like, or you can leave it right where it is. If you put your left hand forward, bringing it back, draw yourself back up into that tabletop position. Making adjustments as you need to. Lift the left hand into the air, drawing it down, threading it behind the right hand this time, bringing your shoulder to the mat. Remembering to breathe and slowly lifting up, coming back into that tabletop. And from here, take your left leg out, pushing onto the balls of your feet, just stretching the back of that leg, feeling that stretch. And releasing, coming back to tabletop. This time your right leg, straightening it, pushing onto the balls of the feet, feeling that stretch. And coming back to that tabletop, curling your toes under, lift your hips up, coming into that down dog. Your hips will be raised. Your heels may not touch the floor. That's perfectly fine. Your head will be between your biceps. You want your back to be straight, so you don't want to go like this, curving that back in. Keep your back straight. You'll know when your head is between your biceps. You'll feel it. Being aware of the sensations, feeling this in your arms. If your arms tend to kind of bend, just kind of maybe relax them and then lift them up, giving it like a nice little boost. Lift that left leg into the air. And then bending that knee, draw that foot forward right in between those hands. From here, just allowing yourself to feel grounded. Maybe you need to make an adjustment on that back foot, bringing it out a little bit. And when you feel secure, safe, grounded, slowly lifting yourself up into that high lunge. And bringing your hands up as you inhale, coming into a crescent. Keeping in mind your knee should never go beyond your ankle. It should either be straight up and down from your ankle or slightly behind. When you look down, you should be able to see your toes. Drop your right hand down to the inside of that foot, your left hand into the air, twisting to the left. And then slowly lifting back up into that crescent. Bringing your hands down, resting them right on your thigh where your hip meets the thigh. Just kind of pushing down a little bit, adding a little resistance. And then allow your hands to come down to the mat. Turn that back foot in. I'm actually going to turn around so you can see. Turn this back foot, so instead of facing the mat, turn it about a 45-degree angle. Lifting yourself back up now. Giving your arms up into that crescent, and you are now in a warrior one. Bring your palms together. And then reaching out about a 45-degree angle with the upper part of your body. Releasing, letting your hands come behind you, clasping them together, opening up that chest. Bring yourself deeper if you would like, or staying at that 45-degree angle. Let your hands fall down to the floor, bringing them to the inside of that foot, turning your feet as you walk to the outside of your mat, keeping that left knee bent, dropping into a squat. Keeping in mind that if this is how far you want to go, this is perfectly fine. If you want to go deeper, paying attention to your body. And then slowly lifting up. Lifting yourself completely up. You're facing the outside of your mat, bringing your feet straight out. Bending at the hip, bend down. Hands in front of you, just feeling the stretch. And then from here, slowly walking to the right side of your body, bending that knee into that squat. How far, how deep you go is all up to you. All on what feels best for you. Listening to your body. Straightening yourself back up, walking back to the top of the mat, turning your feet as you do. And then lifting yourself up into that high lunge one more time, into a crescent. Dropping your hands down to the mat. Take that back foot, drawing it in, maybe a couple feet away from your front foot, straightening that front leg. From here, you can take your hands, bring them to your thigh, just bending at the hip. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can walk your hands down. Feeling a stretch in the back of your leg, in those hamstrings. Bending that front knee, slide that back leg right up to your front, coming into a forward fold. With your knees bent, your stomach to your thighs, alleviating any pressure on that lower back. Bring your hands to your shins, straight back, parallel with the floor. And bending those knees, slowly palms up, lift yourself into that standing position. Bring your hands down to heart center. Taking a couple breaths here. Taking another inhale, lifting your hands, or dropping your hands, lifting them up, palms together. Exhale into that forward fold one more time. This time, letting that left leg come back. Bring your right leg back to meet it, coming into a high plank. And then bringing yourself up into that down dog. Or if you would like, you can do a flow, your own flow. Drawing forward, coming down, lifting up, and then to down dog. Lift that right leg into the air, bend that knee, drawing it forward right in between your hands. Feeling grounded, get yourself into a position, moving that back foot as you need to, slowly lifting yourself up into that high lunge, into that crescent. Checking your knee placement. Dropping the left hand to the inside of that foot, right hand into the air as you twist to the right. Bringing both hands down, slowly lifting yourself up again, bringing your hands to the thigh, pushing down on the thigh. Feeling a little resistance. Lifting your hands up, inhaling, bringing your palms together, slowly lowering your upper body to about a 45-degree angle. Dropping your hands down, turning that back leg, that back foot to about a 45-degree angle. Lifting yourself back up. We're doing a little different here. Bringing your hands behind you, opening up that chest. Maybe folding completely over that leg. Lifting up, drawing your hands up into that crescent. And then waterfall your hands down to the floor, turning your feet to the outside of your mat one more time. Coming to the center, walking your hands there. Feeling the stretch. Maybe walking your hands out just a little further. Bringing your hands back in. Turn your toes to face the corners of the mat. Heels in. Slowly lift yourself up. And one foot at a time, lift the right heel up and down. Left up and down. Right, down. Left, down. One last time each side. Your right, your left. And then straightening those legs. Taking that right foot, bringing it to the top of the mat. Your left foot to the outside of the mat. Drawing it in just a little bit. Arms up, coming into that warrior two. Checking your knee placement. Bringing your gaze to those front fingers. Allow your left hand to rest onto your leg. Your right palm up, lifting up to exalted. Coming back to warrior two. Bending that right forearm, let it rest onto your thigh, lifting your right hand into the air, reaching over, building a slide on that left side. Making sure your shoulders aren't crunched up to your ear, keeping them distanced. Coming back to that warrior two. This time taking that right foot, bringing it to the outside of the mat, turning your left foot, drawing it to the back side of the mat, bending that knee, checking your knee placement. Arms up into warrior two. This time your gaze is on the left hand. Let your right hand rest onto your leg, turning your left palm up, lifting into exalted. Coming back to warrior two. Bending that left forearm, resting it onto your thigh, lifting your right hand into the air, reaching over, building a slide on your right side this time. Coming back up to warrior two, turning your feet facing the outside of the mat. And from here, bringing yourself down to the floor, walking your feet, heel toe in, coming into a squat. Bringing your hands to rest, checking your balance. Bring your hands to the floor again. Bring yourself up, heel toe your feet so they're about hip width apart. Bending your knees, coming into that forward fold. And then slowly palms up, lift yourself into a standing position. Inhaling palms together, exhaling, coming to heart center. From here, practicing a little bit of a balance pose called tree. You may want to use the wall for support. Letting yourself take your right heel to your left ankle. Your hands can be here holding onto a wall or maybe whatever gives you support. And then slowly letting that heel just rise up on your leg to where it feels best for you. Keeping in mind your heel can be below or above the kneecap, but you never want it pressing on the kneecap itself. And And then reaching out, getting a little bit more support with your arms. Let your right foot come down, lifting off the floor just slightly, or if it feels better, maybe keeping your tiptoes on the floor. Coming over to the side. Feeling this now in that left leg supporting you. Reaching that right foot back behind you. And down, giving your legs a little bit of a shake. And from here, take that left heel, bringing it to your right ankle, letting it rest there. Slowly sliding that heel up to a comfortable position, either below or above the kneecap. Bringing your arms out wide, supporting you. Take that left foot, bringing it forward slightly off the ground. Bring it to the side. Behind you. And down, just giving yourself a nice little shake. And then bringing yourself to the top of your mat again, which I think my camera just fell, so sorry about that. As I learn to navigate the electronics here, please bear with me. Bringing your hands up to a nice inhale. Exhale, drawing yourself forward, bending your knees, and coming into all fours. Just slowly drawing back. You'll see me using a blanket. A blanket is a great tool to protect your knees. Another way you can do it is take your mat and just kind of doubling it back, giving you just a little bit of extra support for those knees. So coming into all fours, remembering knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Take that left leg, bringing it out, lifting it into the air. From here, you can hold it here if you would like, or take right hand, lifting it up, balancing yourself between the left hand and the right knee. Want to go a little deeper, bend that left knee, drawing your hand back, grabbing onto your toes, onto your foot. Releasing, coming back into that tabletop. Bring the right leg out, lifting it up, holding it here. Lift that left hand up, balancing yourself between the right hand and the left knee this time. Going a little further, bend that right knee, drawing the left hand back, grabbing onto the hand, or onto the foot. Releasing, coming back into that tabletop. From here, take your left leg, bringing it out to the side. Walk your hands back, lifting yourself up. Let your left hand fall onto that leg. Lift your right hand into the air. Bring your right hand down to the floor. And from here, lift your left hand to the air. You can hold it here or take that left leg, lifting it in, coming into a variation of a plank, a side plank. Bringing it back down to the ground, bringing your hands down, slowly walking to the front of the mat, drawing that left foot back into the tabletop. This time, take the right leg, sliding it out to the side, Walking your hands back, lifting up. Your right hand resting on your leg. Lift your left hand into the air. Let your left hand come to the floor. Right hand in the air. If you want, lifting that right leg into the air. And releasing, bringing yourself forward, walking back to the front of your mat, drawing that foot back, bringing yourself to that tabletop position again. From here, moving your hips slightly wider than hip width apart, letting yourself draw back, folding back over those legs, resting, bringing your forehead down to the mat. And just relax, feeling the release in your lower back. And then slowly bringing yourself back up, and we will move our blanket out of the way, letting ourselves come down onto our back. The soles of your feet to the mat, close to your body, opening the shoulders, letting them sink into the mat, bringing your hands down beside you, palms down. From here, tucking in that tailbone, lift yourself off the mat, one vertebrae at a time, coming into that bridge pose. You can hold it here. If you want to go a little further, going up onto your tiptoes. Maybe bringing your hands underneath you, clasping them together, bringing you just a little higher. And then slowly releasing one vertebrae at a time, letting yourself come down to the mat. Soles of your feet. Just kind of windshield wipe your legs to one side, then to the other. And again. When you come to your right side, just letting them fall to the floor. Relaxing there, keeping your gaze on the ceiling, or maybe bringing it over to your left. Your arms can go out wide or stay where they are. Bring your knees into the air one more time. Just windshield wipe them back and forth, massaging that lower back. This time when you come to the left side, allow your knees to just fall over, holding it there. And then lifting up, bringing your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around them, giving yourself just a nice hug. And then releasing, letting your legs come out to the mat as you prepare for just some nice relaxation for yourself, for what we call Shavasana. Coming into a position, maybe your legs to the outside of the mat, arms out wide, falling down to the side, palms up. Coming into whatever position feels best for you. Maybe you want a blanket or something, or a bolster underneath your knees. Give yourself time here just to relax, letting the muscles in your legs relax, letting your feet just hang off to the side. Feel your tailbone, lower back, sinking into the mat. Feel your shoulders opening, melting into the mat. Feel the release in your arms. Feel your facial muscles relax. Take this time to just be. Spend some time letting those thoughts go, bringing your breath back to that nice, natural breathing. And just rest, relax. In the meantime, I thank you so much for joining me today and allowing me to guide you. I hope you have a very beautiful